Okay, this video will show you how to use Google Drive to format a paper in APA 7th edition based on their student guidelines. Okay, so the first we want to do, we want to add page numbers to this. Now you can't just type 1 on the top of the page and 2 on the next one because it'll just overwrite it and it'll say the same number on every page. But if you go to the Insert menu and you click Page Numbers, click this one that has 1, 2 in the top right, that looks great. Now, it's in Arial, if you see here, and I've typed the rest of my paper in Times New Roman 12 point. It doesn't really matter what font you use as long as it's a professional font like Arial or Times New Roman, unless your instructor asks you to use a certain font, but you do want to make sure it's all the same font. So let's change the page number here to Times New Roman so that it matches. Next, let's look at our title page. In APA format, you want a title page. So it'll have the title of your paper in bold, a few lines down from the top, then another blank line, your name, your institutional affiliation, your course, your teacher's name, and the date of the assignment. You can check with your instructor to see if there's anything different that they want you to do. Then you want to start the rest of your paper on a new page. If you put your cursor at the beginning of the title and you go to Insert, Break, Page Break, it moves it down there perfectly. That's a lot better than using the Enter key, and here's why. If you use the Enter key, one problem that can happen is if you have to edit something, then stuff moves and you have to add or delete the enters. Another thing is that Microsoft Word uses a different number of lines per page than Google Drive, and so if your teacher downloads a Google Drive paper down into her Microsoft Word, your lines are all going to be on the wrong page. And she might think you did it wrong when you were just eyeballing it with the Enter. But if you use the page break, it will still work in other software programs. On the top of this page, make sure you have your title again in bold. Within the paper, make sure you're indenting paragraphs, using your in-text citations, double space, that sort of thing. Then your reference page will start on a new page again. So make sure that you go Insert, Break, Page Break again. Okay, I've already formatted the citation in APA format, and then the question is, how do I make a hanging indent? So in Google Drive, I can highlight the sources. You can highlight all of them at once if you have more than one, and then go up to the Format menu, Align and Indent, Indentation Options, and just change this to hanging, and that looks great. Now, a word of warning, for some reason, the hanging indent is not always compatible with other software programs. And I don't know exactly what's going on there, but I definitely see students do this correctly, turn in their paper, and then it's not showing as a hanging indent in another software program. So if your teacher's a real stickler for this, you may actually want to take like a screenshot so you can show them, I did it correctly in Google Drive and you're just reading it in a different program that's not working. Okay? So I hope that helps. Thank you very much.